Return within, to the place where there is nothing, and take care that nothing comes in. Penetrate to the depths of yourself, to the place where thought no longer exists, and take care that no thought arises there. There where nothing exists, fullness. There where nothing is seen, the vision of being. There where nothing appears any longer, the sudden appearing of the self. Dhyana is this. As I dive deeper into the rich ocean of Indian spirituality, I find myself coming across more spiritual gems such as this poem. Interestingly enough, though, Swami Abhishiktananda was not actually from India, but rather from France. And he has quite the interesting story and life journey that I believe will help us better appreciate the beauty and wisdom of this poem. Born as Henri Lesseau, Abhishektananda was deeply influenced by Catholic tradition in his early years and eventually went on to become a Benedictine monk and priest after completing his initial studies. But then World War II happened, and he was called to mandatory military service, which had a significant and influential impact on his spiritual journey. His experiences as a soldier and witnessing the brutality and devastation of war deeply affected him. And it took virtually no time before Abhishektananda began to question the meaning and purpose of life in the face of such violence and suffering. He felt a strong urge to seek a deeper understanding of existence and the nature of God. And it is this questioning that eventually led him on a spiritual quest in India that would go on to change the rest of his life. After the war, Abhishektananda immersed himself in Christian mysticism through the writings of Meister Eckhart and St. John of the Cross, to name a few. And shortly following that, he eventually found his way to India. There he encountered the teachings of Advaita Vedanta, which emphasizes the non-dual nature of reality and the unity of all existence. The combination of his experiences during the war and his subsequent spiritual exploration in India led Abhishektananda to a profound shift in his understanding of spirituality and the true nature of God. And he started to see the interconnectedness of all religious traditions. In fact, he spent a good portion of his life trying to find common ground between Christianity and Hinduism. He took on the name Swami Abhishektananda, which means bliss of the anointed one, or Christ. And his itinerant lifestyle and extensive meditation retreats, particularly in remote caves, led him to meet many famous mystics, including Ramana Maharshi, who taught the non-dualist path of realizing one's true self. So when you take the time to learn about his life journey, you can immerse yourself further in the profound nature of his teachings. In fact, when I first read this poem, I actually felt like I was in one of the remote caves with him, meditating peacefully with my eyes closed, while he gently uttered these poetic lines. So let's now turn our attention to the poem itself and see if we can uncover the profound spiritual teaching contained within. This poem is first and foremost a poem about deep meditation. We can see that by Abhishektananda's use of the word dhyana at the end, which is Sanskrit for meditation or contemplation. But Abhishektananda is not talking about an ordinary kind of meditation or concentration that we might practice in the normal course of our lives. He's talking about training the mind to transcend ordinary consciousness and to experience a profound sense of inner peace and stillness. This is an essential step toward the ultimate goal of self-realization and union with God, which is a common theme in many spiritual traditions, especially Advaita Vedanta. So with enough dhyana, we can realize that we are not this individual self that we think we are, but rather divine consciousness itself. However, to achieve this realization in the first place, we have to return within, which is the title and core focus of this beautiful poem. We have to travel deep into the depths of our soul to a place where there is nothing and where nothing can ever come in. Now, of course, Abhishektananda is speaking in metaphors here. He's not talking about an actual physical location, but rather a state of being, one that transcends our surface level existence to help us perceive all of reality. It's like traveling on a journey until you realize that you are the journey itself and that there is no such thing as travel. In other words, if you are the universe itself, then how can you travel to the universe? So you can see how difficult it can be to appreciate this message using our mind alone. Therefore, we must also tap into the wisdom of our heart and soul in order to actually experience this divine consciousness. When we can shut off the world around and inside us, we can achieve the deep state of concentration and absorption that Abhishektananda talks about. Now, notice how we must not only shut off the world around us, but also, and even more importantly, the world inside us. The world of thoughts that we are constantly following and believing every second of our lives. Because it's one thing to retreat from the world and have no contact with society whatsoever. However, it's another thing entirely to retreat from our thoughts. We can be in a cave and still have thoughts. Which is why Abhishektananda is encouraging us to penetrate the depths of ourselves to such a deep level that there quite simply is no more thought. Now, I know this might sound like a bit of a fantasy, but it is actually possible. Through enough dhyana, we can still the mind, cultivate inner awareness, and attain a higher state of consciousness. This is an absolutely beautiful state that I have had the pleasure of experiencing a few times in my life, and this is the quote-unquote place that Abhishektananda wants us to be. Because when we can achieve this state of calm clarity and mental tranquility, we experience everything. This is the whole non-dualistic and paradoxical nature of Advaita Vedanta. When we experience emptiness, we experience everything. When we see nothing, we see everything. And when we are nothing, we are everything. It's all about realizing who we truly are by understanding who we are not. And who we are not is the person meditating, the person thinking, the person living. Who we are is divinity itself. But in order for us to actually achieve this realization, we must gain knowledge and, more importantly, experience for ourselves the essence of our being. This can be done through self-inquiry, meditation, and contemplation as we transcend the limitations of our mind and ego. And as our realization deepens, the distinction between our individual self and the ultimate reality begins to dissolve, until we eventually arrive at a state of non-dual awareness or unity with God. This is the whole reason why we do dhyana in the first place, and it's the inspiration for this beautiful poem. So I hope you enjoyed this reading and interpretation, and that most importantly, that you find yourself inspired to return within. Truly, there is no better goal than to discover who you truly are and to reunite with God. If you are one of the many seekers who finds yourself yearning to travel deeper within, take some time to explore some of the other videos on this channel, and please consider becoming a subscriber. There are new videos coming out every single week that can help you realize your true nature. But ultimately, there is no replacement for actually tuning into your soul and experiencing this divine reality for yourself. So keep practicing, keep journeying, and above all, keep becoming nothing. For it is only when we are nothing that we actually are everything.